First of all, thanks everyone for being here. I am Marco Manfredini. I'm pre-sales consultant in Cegid, and today I will hope to entertain you and talk to you about retail intelligence and how data in store can help you better understand what is going on in your company. First of all, if you have some question, please feel free to send it in the chat, or at the end we will have a Q&A section that we can share our thoughts, and if you have some question for me, please feel free to ask them. The topic for today is how you manage your retail activity in an agile way, and how can Cegid can help you with retail intelligence. As said, I'm Marco Manfredini. I'm from pre-sales. I'm from the pre-sales team, and I will be your host today. And which is today's agenda. We will first speak about challenges. Then we will get to two of the main topic that we have at our disposal for business and retail intelligence, that are the store view and a head office view, because we will change point of view during today's session, and we will see how the data can change and be delivered to everyone within your company according to the role. In the end, we will have a case history just to tell you how we have deployed a solution starting from a problem that one of our customer had. And then in the end, as said, you will have the Q&A session for you. So challenges, how the market is working and how the market fares today, because we have a few points to talk about. In the global market, we have the use of artificial intelligence, and was valued about $3 billion in 2019. And over the next 8-year period, the market for AI retail is estimated to grow exponentially, reaching $23.32 billion by 2027. And this is a big number to think about, because it's all related to how the market is changing and how the stores are changing. And then we know that data innovation is everywhere, because we as Cegid are working on innovating about data, because the data is the real treasure that every company has, and it is something that you can grow on, and is something that you can leverage to steer your company, take better decisions, and make everything that you need, and everything at your everything must be in your hand. Every data that you have is a treasure to leverage. More and more we are facing omnichannel sales, and the supply chain is now agile, or as I like to call it, fluid, because for me as a customer, I don't care where my item is or where it's shipping from. The only thing I care is that the item comes directly to me. And having a powerful insight on how the omnichannel is doing and how it's faring is pretty important. And as said before, the direction and the decision that a company make needs to be done on time, and it is better to anticipate some of your needs rather than be reactive when a problem arises. And most of all, the stores are changing. The needs of the stores are changing because more and more we have stores that are connected to each other, sharing data, sharing customers, sharing items, and maybe you want to start leveraging this knowledge that each store has about the other stores. And doing that, you can see the trends, or maybe you as a retail manager operation can decide to challenge a store in doing better because you have data from another store, and so you can work with all your stores in order to grow. So we've provided a solution that's unique and stimulating to address all of these points. We can centralize your data in a cloud deployed solution. We can integrate business reports and analytics that you need. Everything must be in real time because as soon as something changes within your landscape, you need to address it. Either if it is a problem or something good, you need to know it in time. So we have a self-service dashboard. So that's mean that you can have, as said, dashboard and reports and in the palm of your hands. And the real strength about this is that you don't need a developer in order to have this solution. The solution will be ready to use and ready for you in the moment you decide to open this solution. And in the future, when your needs grows, the solution can grow with you because it's really easy for everyone to see their specific point of view, how it's changing, because not being linked to a developer or in order to deploy your reports is very useful. And in a few clicks, you can change the dashboard that you already have in order to see data from another point of view. And last but not least, as said, you have the self-service dashboard that is addressed for headquarter, and you have store performance that is addressed for stores. In here, you have KPIs that are key to your stores that can show me how my store is doing, how my merchandise is doing, how my salesperson is doing and managing the shop floor. So I think that is really useful to have both at your disposal, and changing my point of view according to my role is really easy. So that's how we address this topic and how we can respond to your needs. So I will start from the last point. So store performance. In store, I have to make decision. I have to see what is happening, what is going on in my shop floor, and so how can I optimize my store performance? Where are the information in the store? My data, how my data in my landscape is crunched in a format that I can consume. Which are the KPI that I have at my disposal as a sales manager or stores manager, and how often I get access to this kind of data as a store manager, because remember, right now we are talking about store performance. So those are the questions that our customer base made to us in order to deploy and develop this kind of solution that we're talking about today. And I want to go ahead and talk to you about a question that we had. 4 to 6 times a day is the number that a sales manager wants to know the data, how the data is changing in the shop floor, because I want to see my top selling products, my slow movers. Maybe I want to challenge my people against another store in the company to perform the best, and is really key to have this kind of information in your hand. And keep in mind that when I say in your hand, and right now you have this beautiful slide that is one of our dashboards. This is from a desktop view, but remember that the solution is also deployable via mobile. So everyone can see the data around the world, and I'm not tethered to the data in the store. And as you can see, you have your store snapshot in the slide. You can see how you're doing with your sales. You can see how the omnichannel orders are impacting your stores. You can see other stores and how they're faring against you. You have a curve that represents how the stores are doing during the day, and you can see how far or how close you are to the target that you have set for each store and that you want to achieve. So it's very, very powerful and easy to navigate as this kind of information. I also have, we'll share it with you, the dashboard right here. That's the same dashboard that I've shown you in the slide. And as you can see, I have my sales amount, I have my KPI. I can see that my store right now is doing 0 omnichannel sales. And maybe that's a problem for me, because I have a personal target to increment my omnichannel sales. I can see how many units are sold and so on and so forth. And please also keep in mind that everything that you see here is a filter that I can apply, and I can see how my store is doing, because right now, as you can see, I have a global view, but as soon as I click on, for example, the Berlin store, my numbers are changing. Or maybe I want to, as said before, create a challenge between Berlin and Firenze, and I can see the total sales for each store and how close and how far they are one from another. Or maybe I want to stay back on just Berlin and focus on a singular time frame. So I can focus from in the time frame of 5 p.m. and I can see how my sales are doing, how many units I've sold. And where you see n/n-1 is because the system is currently doing a year-over-year solution, and I can see that against the same day in the same hour last year, I've lost almost 20% of units sold. So maybe this is useful, or maybe it isn't, but it is a key indicator that you have at your disposal and that you can use to change and steer your company at your best. So going on, as said, we have to analyze and optimize everything that we have in the shop floor, because right now I've shown you an overview of the KPIs and the data that we have at our disposal, but maybe I want to analyze my customers, my inventory. I want to see how my vendors are performing, and this should be easy to do and to access as data. So as said, right now you can see your product performance. You have images of the product that you have sold. You can see curve during the day of how many units and transaction you have done. And as said before, you can apply filters again and see how are you faring against other stores, or how your store is doing. And the same goes for customer traffic. As said, you can see how many people you have in your stores, how many of them have bought something against how many visitors. And you can see also your clientele in the bottom part of this dashboard. And this will show you your best client, because Yandercho right now is your best customer that you have at your disposal, with 40 euros spent. And as you can see, you have filters that you can scroll. You have temperature, the darker the color, the larger amount of items you have sold to that customers. So everything, as said, is in your hand. And keep in mind that all of this data that we have is already within you, because this is a model that just plugs in Cegid and leverages your database. So it's just a matter of reading the data that you already have and crunching and presenting that in a manner that is suitable for you and for the company. So right now we have talked about customers and sellers, and if I go back to my demo environment, I can move between my dashboard. As you can see here, I have overview. We can see products, and you can see that you have a few good. Sorry, I'm moving the chat around. You can see your products, your units sold. Right now we have a filter that we have made before on the time hour. So at 5 I haven't sold anything, but if I remove the time frame, I can see the sales, the unit sales within my Berlin store, and I can see that my best performing item is Polo Farm, because I've sold 14 units for an average price of 48 euros and 82 cents. And moving forward, I can see customers. That's what I've shown you before in the slides. Right now, I'm seeing that the Berlin store is not generating is generated traffic, but not much sale. But if I remove this filter, I can see everything that is going on in my company. And so I can see that my best customers are Florian and Andrea. One because spend a lot on less item, and the other one that spend less on more item. And if I do hover on each bar, you can see the detail, because I can see that Florian, for example, has bought 22 units for 69 euro and 09. And if I go to Andrea, I can see that she bought 11 units, but for 114 euros and 08. So as said, everything is already here. You just have to move in your dashboard and discover the data that you already have. But going on, you have also the chance to compare period performances. And as said, I want to challenge the shop floor to do its best to sell more. Sometimes it takes a really long time to see the trends because we have scattered information. There are heterogeneous flows because we have emails, PDFs, different application. Cegid can provide you with a single interface that collects everything that you need and everything that you want to see. In this slide, you can see that we have the desktop solution as I've shown you before, and in the corner right here we have the mobile solution. So maybe I'm an area manager. I manage different stores, and I'm always on the run. I'm always commuting, and I would like to see how my stores are doing and how they are faring one against the other. So this is very, very useful to have in my opinion. So we can also challenge my performance with comparable sites, because I want to retrieve similar stores at mine based on size or on quantity of items sold, or maybe I want to compare them by units, by sales. And doing that is really easy because I have a graphical aid that can help me navigate through my data and check how my stores are doing, and I can leverage that to be able to move around. And as said before, it's really easy to personalize the dashboard that you have to identify the needs that a store has, and so on and so forth. And for example, you have the customer 360 view, and in here I wanted to show you that. You can see globally how your customer are purchasing, the ranking about the items that you're selling. But if I click, as I've shown you before, on a customer, right now I'm filtering the data on this customer, and I can see that Florian has bought boots, t-shirt, trousers, lingerie, gloves. So I can see, and I have also a visual aid of the item that my customer is buying. And speaking about luxury, this is very good to have, because having a visual reference of the item can help the people in the store to sell better the next time, because I can see that Florian prefer darker colors, for example, so I can propose a black t-shirt or a black pair of boots, and there is a high chance that this item will be liked by my customer. And if I change, or if I do select more than one customer, I can see how both are purchasing, and I can see trends, because maybe they're not in the same spending range, but they like the same items, and I can propose services or items to my customer according to their needs. So going on, as said you before, right now we have seen everything that's related to the shop floor, but you have the same interface and the same possibility in your headquarters. So we have managed to create different and accessible pillars that cover retail, CRM, B2B, and supply chain. And those topics need to be addressed and investigated at the company level. And you have, as said, a self-service dashboard, because I'm the CEO, I'm the retail manager. I want to see specific kind of data that's related to my activity. I don't want to be distracted from, wholesale, when I'm interested in creating a CRM overview that I can use to create my next campaign. So having this kind of segregation and availability of data is really, really useful. And we have the sales portal, one of the pillars that we have at our disposal, where you can see a lot, really a lot of data, because you can see the globality of your stores and how they're performing, which are the contributor and which are the stores that are trailing behind. You can compare, again, product, stores, period. You can compare everything you want to understand which are, for example, items that are slow movers, or customers that are dormant. And this is really powerful. You can measure everything that is going on with your suppliers, with your orders. Are they trailing behind? Are they ahead of schedule? Some stores maybe are suffering because they are out of stock, and so on and so forth. And also, I'm leveraging the data that is in Y2. You have at your disposal also everything related to omnichannel. So it's really easy to see how your omnichannel is doing globally. And the use case, for example, about omnichannel that I will show you is the omnichannel dashboard. So we will be leaving right now the store performance view. We move to the headquarter. This is my sale overview, and I will move to omnichannel. And I can see as a whole how my omnichannel market is doing within the company. And as again, you can filter with e-commerce, wholesale stores. You can see your channel list and apply filters. Maybe you want to see how a specific product is doing in in your omni-channel journeys that you provide. So click on category and you have your item category at your disposal. Or maybe a single item. You can see we have reference design, and here you can use your SKU to interrogate the system and retrieve the information, because maybe you've launched a new item but is not performing very well. So maybe let's see how my item is doing in my landscape. And here you have a few filters. You have e-commerce, stores, store origin e-commerce. So maybe you want to start customer journeys in your store, and this is very useful, and this is very easy to engage customer with an omni-channel journey, because maybe you're selling shoes and the customer trusts the shoes but it doesn't like the color. You can provide the other color, the other color in your shop floor and send the item to the customer, and this is business originated to within the store but is managed from the e-commerce side. And then you have a channel if you manage wholesale or not. So again, we have also vision on stock. You can see how inventory is doing. You can see end of beginning of month inventory. If you need to restock according to your min max levels, you can see how your coverage week is doing, because maybe you have a slow mover or high mover or fast mover items, and your coverage will be not enough to support you for all year. And so this is a really important information to have in your HQ. Again, we have the CRM, a few points at our disposal, so you can qualify and have data quality regarding your customers. You can see the retention rate of your customer, because maybe your store is doing a lot of promotion or a lot of loyalty programs. You can see how your loyalty programs are doing. You can know your potential conversion rates according to traffic in store. You can measure sales condition and promotion that you manage and create in the company. And also you can see the impact and the redemption rate of your loyalty program and promotions. Just one case in point, we're talking about potential targets, so your potential market. You can see how many of your customer are want to be contacted by the store, how many have given you their address, their email, their telephone numbers. And this kind of information is really important, because this is a useful tool in your hands, because maybe you see that a lot of your customers aren't willing to give you their phone numbers or their email address, but you want as a company to invest on omni-channel journey. And without those information, it's really hard to manage that. So you can filter, for example, with those filter and see how many of them have given you the email, and so you can prompt the store to ask for more email. So you can improve the quality of the data that you have, and you can see information and doing better every day. And another case, of course, is to see the best customers that you have at your disposal, by region, by customer. And this is an aggregated view. Right now, I will show it to you. I will go to the hub, CRM. I will check my customer ranking, and I can see how my customer are doing. So I can see that in my company, a lot of my customer are based in France, a few in Belgium, and then less and less. So it's maybe I want to go global. So maybe this the slice of France markets should be more and more little in time, and I want to increase specific markets. Or maybe I want to see how my customers are doing in a specific market. For example, I will filter for Spain, and I can see my best customer in Spain, how many transactions they've done, how many sales they've done, how many purchases they've done, and the amount, when was the last sale. And this is very, very powerful tool in your hand to address all your needs for the customer. And another powerful information is to see how your loyalty program are faring. You can see all your loyalty program and how much of them they have been used and how many customers you have for each of the slice. Again, the bigger the slice, the more customer that you have in this loyalty program, and you can see the retention rate, expiry dates for cards, renewal date, how many customers have renewed, so on and so forth. We'll show that to you because it's really nice to see. As you can see, you have a positive trend in blue for active loyalty cards because it's growing. As you can see, this is growing, so this is good. You can see how many activated cards that you have emitted, so another powerful information, and how many of those cards are expiring. So it's my purpose to keep this column as small as possible and this column as large as possible. And again, you have the breakdown for loyalty program because maybe you want to see how this data change for silver customers. And you can see that I have still a growing curve for active loyalty cards. I can see that I have a lot of high green bars for activation of cards. I have 26 right now. And I can see that for silver loyalty program, we have 77 almost percent of customers that have active cards, so that they are still buying and within the company. So we have an overview on purchasing because we have stores that needs to be supplied with orders, and you want to see how many orders you have pending, how many deadlines are being broken or not. Do you want, because according to the orders that you make to your supplier, you will see that you have coverage or you don't, according to the release plan of such orders. And now let me go back to the overview. I will just show you the overview for orders, and you can see the orders that are trailing behind. You can see that you're 70% late on all your orders. So this is a pain point for a brand, because if I'm 70% late on all my orders, I can see that I have 4.39 million of value for my items that are not being delivered to the stores. And maybe I want to know why. I can see that blue is the amount received late, the green is in time, so my suppliers are not doing well. And also I can see the ranking for my suppliers and how they're respecting the agreement that we have. Going forward, we have the same but for wholesale. So you can check your orders from your wholesalers. You can track everything that is going on within the agent in the company. You can plan delivery to your wholesaler and see the delivery plan, how it's been managed and addressed. You can see the disruptors in your wholesaler, because maybe someone is doing good, someone is doing bad, and you need to have this information as soon as possible. And also, of course, you can see how many items they are purchasing from you, and you can also rank them from best to less good as a supplier and wholesaler for your landscape. Closing in, I wanted to talk about the use case of Orchestra. They're specialized in kids' clothing and general goods for child, and they had 407 stores in 29 countries, so they're quite spread around the world. They have large format stores, so a lot of people work in there. 900 point of sales. Those are numbers that will tell you how big and how spread it is as a company. As you can see, we go from South America to Asia to Europe to North Africa to South Africa. So they're quite spread around the world, and they had a challenge to face, and was facing the digital transformation within the store. They wanted to see how the stores were doing, how they were collecting data, how they were managing data. And since they had all the data that they need, but in different sources that they weren't connected one to each other, they had to collect and funnel all this data within one solution. So they chose to implement store performance at the store level, the first one that we've seen in at the start of this presentation. And so leveraging ClickSense, they were able to have a global view of everything that they need, and this managed to manage for Orchestra to be able to steer the company at their best and improve the sales and how the stores are faring around the world. So now I will give the